Hi guys, this is MJ of Typeify, and in today's video we have a very special guest, which is Matt of Geek Psychology. He's here.
Hey.
So
Ah,
he will introduce himself after me.
yeah, I'm Matt Sherman from Geek Psychology YouTube channel. Excited to be here talking to another INFP about INFP stuffs, and hopefully it'll be helpful for you in your personal growth journey as well. If it's okay, what motivates you?
Um, may I ask what you mean by motivates me, like just in general
Okay.
life?
Well, maybe two parts, but one thing that I hear a lot from comments and other INFPs is just like I just have no energy to do anything. The world is against me, and maybe I don't have the money, or my family's not supportive or whatever. And I don't know your situation, but what motivates you to get up when you get up and actually pursue these projects that they might not give you immediate feedback in terms of like, I made a video, here's $1,000, right? It's not like that, right? So what motivates you to actually continue to pursue that?
Okay, I really love that question because it makes me think. I think what motivated me, because mind you, I started my channel, like last year, like or 2019, 2018, but I only started a video in 2020 or something like that. And then I stopped making a video for a year.
Uh-huh.
So yes, motivation is a big question. There's a lot of fear putting yourself out there as an INFP. We're subject to a lot of criticism, and knowing ourselves enough that we know that we're likely gonna struggle with consistency, and learning to just be okay with not perfect. Because I wanted things to be perfect at the beginning. Like, if I'm gonna be a creative, I need everything to look a certain way, and I have to look a certain way. But I didn't get to do that. And when I didn't, I stopped for a year. What motivated me to come back and do all of this again is realizing that if I don't do this now, then when? And if I don't do this, then who will? And I think it's tied to the whole frustration of like when we had a chat before this recording this, um, I was a little frustrated that there's a lot of misrepresentation of INFPs in the world and online. And this is something that I am pained by as a content creator who gets to see what people have to say about us and what people are missing out on from what's in here and what's in here in our hearts and our minds. I feel like there's so much that we can learn from INFPs, and it's just that very often fear overtakes our sense of purpose. That if I don't post a video, someone else will, and someone will be saying something that doesn't actually portray us in the best way, or doesn't actually ring true for an actual INFP. Because many people will have an opinions about other types, but who knows us best? It's ourselves, right?
Yeah.
And I feel like I was so happy again when I learned that you're an INFP. I mean, when I started like just checking videos on YouTube actually, you're one of the
Mhm.
first few people I've seen, and I knew that at the time you didn't have a lot of subs at the time yet. There
Mm.
was a time where people just started like MBTI became very popular, and there's like a skyrocket in a lot of
Yeah,
things,
yeah.
right? So I knew at the time I saw that okay, very few INFP content creators are like trying to make a mark out there, doing something for themselves and for the world. Um, and I'm trying my very best. And I always feel like if I don't do this now, it will never happen. And I will
Mm.
never be able to fill that need for me to help others. Because in my mind, I think with our similar advocacy of like bringing INFPs out of the mud with
Mhm.
being the goal that they are. Um,
Mhm.
if I don't do this, no one will feel inspired that it's possible to be a happier or a successful INFP. And my idea of success is not with money, obviously, but more on the fact that you wouldn't think that I would make content or I would do something of what
Yeah.
I have. So I think it's a bigger um mission that I have in my mind, if in my mind, that if I'm not able to put myself out there, if I don't use my voice, then I wouldn't be a living testament to other INFPs who are so caught up with their own negative voices in their head. Because I was like that too, and I am sure that from your story, it was similar for you. So I think
Mhm.
it's like our hero's journey in a way. There's a lot of friction back and forth, and then
Yeah.
it's difficult. But when I just have it in mind, just a comment from someone messaging me that, oh, your videos help me, even if I have like few subs or whatever, it's fine. um
Mhm.
I think for INFPs, I think we do enjoy the idea that we're able to help someone, even if it's just one person,
Yeah.
because we're not the most charismatic, influential TED talkers in the world. You know what I mean? We don't
Mm.
have FE. We very often talk at that, but I think we thrive in one-on-ones. If I know I
Mhm.
can impact one person, okay, maybe I have a reason to keep doing this because someone's benefiting from it. That doesn't always equal to money, but that would mean an impact in their own individual lives.
Yeah.
And that will create a great domino effect in the long run, which is what I hope to do. Um, so if I have a greatest motivator, it's really that I really do want to help people, and especially INFPs, because I feel like we do need a lot of help. So
Yeah.
yeah, I hope that answered your question.
Yeah, it does. That's yeah, the point that you made about wanting to help one person,
Mhm.
like on an individual level, has been something that's really driven me too. Um, like if I make a video and doesn't get a lot of views or whatever, but one person said, this really helped me. Like I needed this today. That feels really good. Of course, more people saying that would be great too,
Yeah.
but helping that one person who maybe was in a really dark place and they really needed some help somehow, and I was able to do that by doing whatever I'm doing. um Maybe that person then impacts somebody else and helps somebody else, and that next third person down the row or whatever helps a lot more people. And I constantly remind myself of that. And I hear a lot of times, like when I mention that, people are like, well, then you're not an INFP because you want to help a lot of other people and stuff like that. But I think they're missing the point of the individual, like helping that one individual change their life in some way. So I just really resonated with that. So I wanted to talk a little bit about that too.
Thank you. And again, then that person doesn't know what an INFP really is, but because at the core of it all, we're all healers.
Yeah.
Healers in different ways, not in the way that they would think stereotypically, but in our most developed state, we are the true definition of mediators and healers through art, music, creation, and language, all
Mhm.
sorts of things. So similar to what you asked me earlier, like what motivates you to just keep making videos every week, doing all of these things. It does require a lot of work.
It does. Yeah, there are a lot of times where I'm just like, I just don't want to do anything today.
Yeah.
Not so much now. Now actually, like I have more of an issue on days like by tracking my patterns and journaling and stuff like that. I've realized that I feel better when I wake up early and I do
Mhm.
stuff that's productive and I create something, not just ideate and imagine things, but actually like make something, and send it out to the world. I feel better just personally. And so that's one of the things that motivates me to wake up at 6:30 and study and create and all this other stuff. Also, I got a 5-year-old daughter. She just turned 5 yesterday. So yeah, I think that's another thing. Like I want to create a better life and world for her.
Mhm.
Um, and once again, that's on an individual level,
Mhm.
but there are tons of um, let's just call it other versions of my daughter out there in the world, in different countries and stuff, like, not like I'm got actual daughters out there, but different parallels and stuff, of other people that need help and don't know how to do it, and feel broken, don't know who they are, and just a little bit of like, oh, other people actually kind of think the way that I do. Holy crap, like I'm not broken, I'm okay. Maybe there's a chance for me to exist in this world, like those kind of struggles. Finding ways of alleviating those is
Mhm.
what really motivates me. And it's not just for INFPs, although I make a lot of INFP content and we have INFP communities and stuff like that. Like it's for everybody. I think it really helps to have self-understanding
Yes.
and finding ways of making it more appealing, more attractive, as a concept, as a mental model, and not just for jokes and skits and stuff like that, but like, oh, actually self-understanding can really help how I interact with myself and other people, right? So
Mhm.
sharing that knowledge with other people in whatever way it comes is one thing that's really motivating for me. And it's fun to explore new ideas and stuff like that. So
Yes, it's always fun. NE is always fun. I think that's
it
one
is.
of my, I love having NE. So
Yeah.
it's our saving grace kind of in our FI mode.
It is. It's really cool and really important, and especially when you really lean into it and
Mhm.
you kind of let the introverted sensing, stabilizing guardian, as I call it, just kind of do its homely stuff,
Mhm.
right? Like just be on the couch, do that stuff. That's always important sometimes, right? Doing nostalgic things, listening to music that you listened to when you were a kid and stuff. Um, but really just leaning into extroverted intuition and not perfection and not doing the same stuff all the time, but expanding outwardly, I think is so helpful for INFPs, because you get to learn, you get more like flavors of introverted feeling and your
Yes.
identity by putting yourself into all these different contexts that you've never done this thing before, you've never
Yeah.
gone tap dancing before, but you're trying it today. Okay, right, you're going to learn something about yourself through that, and that is what INFPs want as well, right, on a really deep level. So NE is a great way of doing that, but it's scary. That's okay though.
Yeah, I agree. And I love that you mentioned it because I feel like the more we gather different kinds of information from living, being out there in the world, the more it feeds our FI. Like, for
Yeah.
example, if I just stay in my room for long periods of time and never going out, nothing meeting people, it becomes an echo chamber of thoughts. Like for
Hmm.
FI, it's like, oh, everyone hates me. I'm useless. My life sucks. Yes,
Yeah.
of course, because you're in your room and you're not trying to do anything outside of what's in here. So
Yeah.
it becomes just this a cesspool of bad thoughts and negativity. And in addition to, and not really forsaking or not I know that like people have bad experiences also that feeds into the FI.
Hmm.
But if it's that's the only thing we allow to enter to our system, it ends at that bad memory or bad experience. Then your brain, your beliefs will just think that that's the only thing that you are and that you know.
Hmm.
So, and it's hard to be an SI user because we remember things. Our body
Yeah.
remembers these things.
Yeah.
That's why it's good to replace them and constantly update our system.
Yeah, definitely. Well, and that's NE is getting this huge breadth of different experiences, different ideas, different patterns and stuff like that.
Mhm.
And then you have more to pull from the SI reservoir, right? So it's not like I'm in my room, my life sucks. Why does it suck? And the Guardian SI is like, well, here's a list of reasons why your life sucks because of, your past, right?
Yeah.
But if you have more experiences, more contexts, more patterns, then you're going to have better memories to pull from, and still, some bad ones too. And that's part of it though.
Yes. So I think it's a good way to the way you illustrated also how how the functions work hand in hand. It's never isolated from each
That's
other.
right. Yeah.
So I think it's always good for many people or whoever's gonna watch this to remember that you are not your function, your dominant function, your auxiliary function. You're a combination of your all eight functions, and the more you add to it, good and bad, the more it balances out and makes you more of a well-rounded individual, which is what
Yes.
we're hoping to become and achieve.
Yeah. I always think of it as like a, well, I guess I can't say always because I have many different ways of looking at it, but like a pirate ship with a bunch of different crew, right?
Yeah.
You've got your cognitive functions, or like the Avengers or a fellowship, right? The Hobbit and stuff like that. Like you have all these different heroes and teammates and different characters and different parts. And the better that you can appreciate all of them and getting them working together internally, intrapersonal rapport, then everything else is going to work out better in your life.
Okay, so thank you for watching our video, and stay tuned because like we're gonna be talking about three more important questions about INFPs, which is about our strengths and weaknesses, what motivates us, and what maybe should motivate you to as an INFP, and how we deal with stress and conflict as INFPs. Because he's a 9 and I'm a 6, so I think that's something that we can explore together. So again, thank you for watching this video, and I hope that you do like and subscribe his channel. Go to Geek Psychology, follow Matt and all of his socials. I'll put them in my descriptions down below. And again, if you haven't already, also subscribe to my channel. And if you want to learn more how to become a happier INFP, also visit his website.
I now feel positive.com. INFP. I now feel positive.com.
And I do type in-depth type assessments. You'll see the clip later after this video. So if you want to get typed by me and want to learn more about your type, visit my website at typeify.me. Okay. Thanks, guys. Bye.
Bye.
Follow me on my socials at MBTI Time on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. And if you're not sure if you're an INFP, INFJ, ENFP, INTJ, or any other type, book a typing session with me by visiting www.mbtitime.com. Links in the descriptions down below.